Hi, welcome to the small shed. This Saturday we've got a bit of repair and troubleshooting to do. See you in a minute. Now, before we get into the meat of this week's episode, just a very quick word on Bella. Thank you so much for all the nice comments that I got both on Instagram and YouTube. I've had a lot of messages through Facebook and one or two other areas of support. Thank you very much for the kind mentions. I think at the time I did the final video I had a pretty hard couple of weeks trying to get this thing sorted, and there had been one or two occasions where I'm pretty certain that I was almost fighting myself to stop myself doing what I needed to do, if you see what I mean. There were a lot of reasons that I came up with for delaying getting trucks organised and all sorts, and I think even when I finished the video and did the last bit, I was still slightly apprehensive that although I knew it had got there and got there safe, I was half afraid I was going to get another phone call saying, "We're very sorry, but it's beyond repair, we're putting it on a truck back to you." And that would have just meant that the monkey was back on my shoulder, bigger problem still. And I think there was a certain amount of apprehension even then. I can confirm that a week on, Jerry up at the refinishers who were doing the car said, "We'll have a look at it and I'll come back to you next week." Sure enough, within 6 days he'd come back. They've taken it apart, had a good look at what they can see at the moment so that they can get a list of parts to get it up ready, first of all to get it through an MOT. And it's pretty much as I expected. I knew it was going to need new alternator, new battery, new tyres, new fluids, new cam belt, all that sort of stuff. I'd been told about the sills, which he knew pretty much straight away, and that was a bit of a blow, but so much, you know, it's got to be done, so that's that. In addition, we've also got new radiator and a new air conditioning radiator. They've rusted out as well, so not good from that point of view, but again, not the end of the world. And what it does mean is that at least they now know that there's no reason at all why it shouldn't be put back on the road. I think it's going to need new front brake calipers as well, and I just thought it would probably need them rebuilding, things like that. But it's still not my problem, so somebody else is sorting out. It will take time, but I am now in a much better place. I think I've had a week now where I've actually slept pretty much every night 8 hours, whereas before, that fortnight before, I was getting 2 and 3 hours some nights, and no real reason to be worried, but clearly things were playing on my mind all the while. So that's the update. I'll come back to you when I know anything more, but at least now she's in a better place and so am I. Let's get on with the main thing that we're doing this Saturday. I've got a couple of things to do this week. First of all, my wife knocked an ornament over in the bathroom the other day on the window ledge, and it's broken the neck off one of our stone ducts there. See if we can sort that out. And then I've got a compressor that I was going to try and blow Bella's tyres up the other day before she went away, and the compressor didn't work, completely dead. So the main compressor's been sitting outside for a couple of weeks, ready more or less to go up the tip. I put a cover over it, but I was going to put it in the car and take it to the tip. And then I thought I'll have a look and see if it's anything simple. So we'll have a look at that and see if we can get that going, and hopefully we'll get some things done this Saturday. Right, so the first little repair job of the day is Daffy Duck, who resides in our bathroom, and unfortunately came to a rather poor end the other day when my wife shut the blind and knocked her over. The head just goes on at an angle about like that, and I think in the majority of the area it won't even show when it's done. There is a tiny bit of damage where it actually hit, I think, or where it snapped. Going to use super glue. I'm not going to bother with the accelerator because I want this to be able to exactly get it in the right place and let it sort of work at it. Now it's quite difficult to find that sweet spot where it goes together, so what I'm going to do is just mark both sides of it with a spot so that at least when I first put it together, it goes together in the right place, so we don't get glue going everywhere and getting smeared. So if I just put a line across that joint, it gives me a meeting point. I'm going to put it mainly in the middle, the glue, because again I don't want it to squeeze out everywhere. This is like a reconstituted resin, I think. I don't think it's proper stone as such, but we will just, that's lovely. That just goes straight together without any messing around. And we'll just leave that now for a minute or two under a certain amount of pressure. Tiny little bit of run and squeeze out there, which we'll get rid of. But certainly for the majority of it, you just can't even see it now. We'll just get that little black mark off with some isopropyl alcohol. If I can get at it. As you can see, I'm back in the usual state of the shed with too much stuff in it, so we're having to work on the railway board at the moment. Which is good, that's gone. So the only thing that's left me with now is the very slight cracking just at that point there, which, as I say, I might be able to fill and mark and colour in, but I don't think so. So what I'm going to do, there's a little Daffy, my name is Daffy, and a little duckling Archie is upstairs. What I'm going to do is where that chain goes around the neck, I think what I'll do is actually glue it at that point. If I just put the chain in like that, at that point, you won't then see it. Just put a spot of super glue on there. Put the chain in it. That's it, one repaired duck.
Well, that seems to have got the duck back in the bathroom without too much visible sign of damage. Let's go and have a look at this compressor now and see if we can't get it back into life. Okay, first thing to do is to recheck everything I did before, because it's just as likely that you plugged something into a cable reel that wasn't working or something else, so let's just make sure it's not working. I've got a power supply there. Plug it in. There is an on-off switch on the top. Nothing, absolutely nothing. So first thing to do is look at the fuse. That's fine, that's just gone to naught, so we know we've got a fuse. So then we trace the electrics along from there to the switch. check the continuity to the plug so that we know the electric is at least getting to it. So we'll go with the live first, line, which is the brown one. Neutral is going straight away. Earth, try again, wherever that may go to there. Yeah. But I wonder if it's just, I can't see it just being crap on the plug, but it's possible. All the same. Right, line. Or whether it is a wire. No, that's definitely going straight to naught now. Okay, so we're getting power from there to there. So that will then go inside the electric motor housing. So we'll probably have to take that off next. Not sure whether there's any sort of a reset in these, but I can't see one anywhere that would trip. We'll have a look, see how. Turn it round. And we'll start on this side. Hang on a minute. Tiny little switch in the back here. I wonder if it's a reset. Let me just turn this round and you can see it. Just click the little switch that's tucked away right round the back. Just bring you in close. There. It says 10 amp on it, which would indicate it's some sort of a trip switch for if the power goes, if it overloads. So I might just put one bolt in to hold it, stop it flopping around, and just give it another try. It might be as simple as that. Trouble is with these things, I in the past have tended to just throw the manuals away, so you don't, and you forget over time what you've done. A bit of support back in there. Right, let's cross our fingers and have a go, shall we? Right, no great mystery then. I'm going to put that back together, I'm going to give it a clean and call it a job done. Right, well that's not exactly a repair or even a restoration, but at least we've now got back a working compressor to put in the garage. Well, that's one repair and one sort of getting something working rather than a repair. If anything, it does probably highlight the need for keeping the manuals, which is something us blokes don't tend to do. We don't need manuals and we don't use manuals, but it was as simple as turning a little switch on at the back in the end. I think I need to get an air filter on this, but that's the only thing I think it needs. I've just checked the oil, that's okay, so it's hopefully in use when we come to start doing work on Hetty. Hope it was of interest. Hope we didn't waste too much of your time this week. See you next week. We'll be doing something different. See you then. Bye.